are back once again, and so am I. Magically appeared again. The cat who took care of me while we were off. I don't
Oh,
have a cat, unfortunately. I do
no
have,
more
my
cat.
parents have cats, but, you know, at least I have a cat cam, you know. Okay, that...
Cat
Never
cam,
mind what I
dog
just
cam,
said. That's a Freudian slip if I've ever heard one.
6 consoles! Either way.
Oh my god.
Trackmania out on console.
Yeah, that's true. Trackmania is on console. It's not in the description of the channel yet, but it will get there as well. I don't know who actually can change it, but either way, yeah, console is out, so check that out as well. But we're gonna check out this upcoming match in a moment. Sprout versus HOMYNO TSUN, which I feel like could go either way. I honestly feel like, because I touched upon it already beforehand, I feel like Feed has a similar case this stage that Pack has. They're both fast, they show that they have the pace, but they just, they cannot get the consistency, they cannot get the footing down to get those times consistently, because last stage, Feed was absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those ones. Both of these teams over the course of this stage have looked inconsistent, for sure. HOMYNO TSUN started things off inconsistent. I mean, losing 3 maps out to Ascent. We thought maybe Ascent are just like a really, really good dark horse coming into this one, but then Sprout beat them 4-1, and then well, I mean, they've lost every game so far, so it turned out that it was actually just HOMYNO TSUN underperforming a little bit from what we expected. And HOMYNO TSUN have started to, warm back up into things, but still, it's not quite the same HOMYNO TSUN that we saw in Stage 1. I think the same can be said about Sprout, honestly. Dexter has had a more difficult time than usual. Dexter, keep in mind, ended last stage with like 3 world records on the maps, and also, I can't even remember how many Challenger League records, but a lot. And compared to that, Dexter has not had the same kind of easy time of it. And Scrappy has actually been putting together a lot of kind of hero performances for the team.
We've
Overall,
seen
they're
that a
fine.
lot, actually, in a lot of teams, actually. Challenger as well. Like, Enner has been absolutely up front. Scrappy has been pulling ahead as well. For alternate attacks, even Volstyle has been more up front. But now Scandir is also finding his pace and consistency in that regard. So, I mean, it's been like a tale of the supports, if you were to look at it from Stage 1. That now they are actually pulling in the time. But now the top dog, or the fast player, that used to be, is struggling a bit, or not getting the rounds properly that they wished for.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see if, because Sprout, I mean, it was kind of similar last stage in that they warmed up a lot towards the end of the stage. It took them a little while to get fully practiced on the maps, and by the end of the stage, they were absolutely brilliant. Not quite as, as consistent as alternate attacks, but at the same time, still by and far good enough to get to the finals of the playoffs. And hopefully that's what we see a little bit more. Dexter, again, didn't really set a lot of world records until the last couple of weeks of Stage 1, so it might just be that, again, they haven't really had quite enough time to get fully practiced, so hopefully we're going to start to see a little more of what we saw from Sprout last stage. But either way, I feel like this should be their series to take.
Yeah, I feel like if you were a betting man, which everybody in Trackmania is, and for channel points, is you would put it on Sprout. But again, I have that feeling always, like Feed. I really enjoy Feed as well as a player. Really accomplished a lot as well. But if he gets to the same pace that he was in Stage 1, and Enner already looking up to par, I mean, they can go for some magic run in the end, I feel like. Looking forward to it. This could be it could be a 4-0, 4-3, could be anything at this point. What we've seen from the last previous matches, whatever you knew before,
yeah,
you might as well not know about it, because you can go into this absolutely blindfolded and not knowing anything, and you can have a good time.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Sprout, I think we've called, especially myself and Nura have called, the most entertaining team in the Challenger League, mostly because obviously the times they can put together, absolutely insane. We've seen them have records all over the place. Scrappy had the record on Reps last stage. Dexter had a lot of records on other maps. But also, they have the ability to completely get destroyed in a series, or at least on certain maps. And it's all down to how well they, how close they get to their best times. Because I think both of the players like to risk things. They like to show that they can drive really fast. And that comes back to bite them a little bit sometimes. And hopefully we see just a little more It's been the case this stage as well. I think I want to see a little more safety from them. This stage's maps are easier to safe than stage 1's maps were, so it's definitely possible.
Yeah, it definitely lends itself to that as well. But for those, of course, we do have a bit of time, since there does seem to be. Well, I do have the possibility to actually check in game chat as well to see how things are going and get that inside information. But there was some skid marks not properly showing as well. But it seemed I wanted to give a bit of a discussion of what we had before, but pick and ban starts. So let's switch there, shall we?
Yeah.
And here we are. But to sum up what we've seen today for those joining us right now for the Sprout versus HOMYNO TSUN match, we had Exalty going up against Ascent, winning 4-1, and Exalty winning 4-1, and we had just now BS Plus winning against Easy Dream 4-1 as well. But that scoreline 4-1 is definitely not what it's on the surface looks like. But what are we gonna get this time? We already see Grip and Pool, no Frosty and Speed. Surprise is nowhere.
Yeah, Vortex third map, and yeah, that's not surprising. Particularly, it seems like Sprout do like that map. Breaking comes up in fourth. Sprout have been relatively inconsistent there, so maybe a good pick coming on through on that one. Then Control, off-road and airwalk random map to finish things off. But from what we've seen today, we may not be getting towards map 7.
Yes, it's something we'll have to wait and see. Of course, we will. Yeah, it will be airwalk to end us off, and we have, of course, the Rowies. For those who cannot see, or maybe cannot, well, cannot see it. And now it's gone as well. I was about to read all of them, but I am slow on the trigger, so even I now don't remember probably most of them. But that's how the cookie crumbles. It's a surprise every time, That's why they call it a present, It's a surprise, gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Well, HOMYNO TSUN versus Sprout coming on through. And we start things off with Grip. And Sprout, 100% win rate here. They've only played it once, but it is a 100% win rate for them so far. HOMYNO TSUN, not quite as lucky. They've played it once and they have lost it. And right now, I don't think they have really had enough time in the server to get insane times. A 102.5 is their best time by Enna. Whereas Dexter has set a 101.9. Again, not quite the top times we're seeing in the Challenger League, but both teams have only played it once, so that's absolutely to be expected. Let's see if either of them are able to improve on those.
And now we get to the bread and butter of today as well. Like, these were the matches that we were most anticipating for, because they have the possibilities, like I said already, to be absolute barn burners that could go absolutely 7 map affairs. But for now, at least, I feel like all eyes, if anything, are gonna be on Feed and Dexter, who hit both of the poles. So it is back to Scrappy and Enner as we go up in front. But definitely all eyes on Feed and Dexter. Those are definitely the players that on paper are the fastest ones. If we do take previous experience into account. But now Scrappy and Enner are the ones fighting up front.
Yep, Scrappy out ahead for the time being, 1.5 tenths ahead to be precise, and on for a pretty good time, plays it safe on that final turn. Very much good enough to get over that line in first place again. Not an amazing time, but again, that's because those splits were so far apart. Don't need to risk that identity if you are, half a second ahead of second place and several seconds ahead of the other two players on the server. So Sprout take a nice, simple first round.
Yeah, but something that is very worth pointing out, Enner didn't go for the pole line on the inside. He actually went outside poles. So that is an interesting point that I just now realized, because when I was when we were spectating this as well, Enner went outside pole. I don't know, maybe he didn't have the lineup for it and was like, okay, I cannot go for this. I just have to go outside pole. Let's see if he actually goes for it again. I know he goes inside, so it was probably the case that he didn't get the lineup he wanted and went like, oh, I need to save this and go for the outside side. So, I guess we know now as well. But everybody's now neck and neck.
Yeah, that's promising as well, honestly, because we haven't really seen any players that will give up on that line if they don't get a good setup. Everybody will just crash it so far. So it's nice to see a player that does not think, oh, I'm just going to go for it anyway. But right now, Scrappy and Dexter in first and second place. Feed makes a tiny mistake, which compounds itself into a big mistake, losing a lot of time. Enna gets a better exit, it seems like, than Dexter, but Dexter gets over the line just ahead. It's only, what, 14 tenths between, 14,000, sorry, between the two of them. Scrappy comes home in first place. Again, not having to push for boat in terms of times, nothing under a 102 just yet, but it gets the ace done, and that's all they need.
Yeah, the job is done, and it's a 5-1 lead for Sprout on their pick as well. So that is a good start to start you off. And now with Enner going a bit too much towards the inside of that CP ring exit, he now finds himself very far, well, not far behind, but a second behind for sure. So it is up to Feet now to catch up to Sprout, and with a bit of a clip on the jump there, find himself even further behind. So it is now looking to beat Sprout to take another ace on the board, and given it is their map pick, I mean, you would expect that. But we did say that this could go for a map affair. I wouldn't be surprised if it can go the way where they just start trading their own map picks, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, now Sprout's map to take away, and yeah, I mean, considering the fact they haven't really been picking this map whatsoever, they've only played it once, looking really good on it. Maybe a lot of practice has gone into this one over the last couple of weeks, and they thought, you know what, actually, let's start picking this one. Let's start you know, trying to take a full map away, and it's looking real good. Sprout again get that ace, and I think they've realized now that HOMYNO TSUN are not going to be pushing for sub 102 times, so they don't need to be pushing for sub 102 times either. As long as they stay ahead, it's all good, and another ace for them means the scoreline is now 8-1.
Yeah, that works perfectly fine for them. It's just clean sailing at the moment, and definitely a good pick for Dexter and Scrappy. So definitely either they've done their homework, or this map has been definitely being cooked to a crisp, at least for this match, as they are ready to go on it. Very good start to the match as well, and now we just have to see does it also compound into the next maps. But given the scoreline, you would think at least now that with Sprout's caliber, they should be able to close this match out as well. I'm sure HOMYNO TSUN can give them a fight, but you would really need something special now to go right for HOMYNO TSUN for them to take the map, as Scrappy somehow stays alive and even remains ahead of Enner to some extent even.
Yeah, well, now it is going to be Feed versus Dexter. Things will swap from first round. Oh, Dexter does not get a good entry into the water. Water on the map, unlucky. And Scrappy now has to fight 4 points for the team. They only need 2. They're not going to be getting 2 out of this round, but they can get 1 if Scrappy ends up in the top 2. And that's what he's looking to do. But, oh, the cooks it again, looking for a really nice exit from that final corner. But there's a pole right there waiting for you if you try to get round to the outside to get yourself more exit speed. So Scrappy on finishes, unlucky. And
2 more aces, Twiggy?
Yeah.
2 more
I mean,
aces?
yeah, it was a awkward start, and it kind of just turned into something very awkward for them. Hopefully, they get a cleaner first half of the map this time around and don't have to push for that final part as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, you know, you will take those rounds, even if the map doesn't go your way to begin with. You know, those aces still are a good confidence boost. You know, if it goes right for both of you, you can take it as well. But it was in the light of Scrappy and Dexter not having probably one of those rounds where it didn't go well for both of them. Usually it is that if one of them does have a bit of a mistake, the other one does come up clutch, and now Scrappy does find the pole as his fellow compatriot. So it is actually Dexter now up in front, holding the line, as Enner and Feed not trailing, but we'll see if he actually gets to hold on to that first place with closed arms.
Yeah, so far looking good. They got a better entry into the water there, staying half a second ahead of Enner. Never mind. Too much speed and too wide of an angle, turning into the identity there, and now has to make up even more time coming on through, as 2 seconds down behind Feed at this point. It's another ace for HOMYNO TSUN. I can't believe it. Nobody's setting sub 102 times, but HOMYNO TSUN is starting to bring it back. Sprout just making mistakes once again. The inconsistency is creeping on through, and HOMYNO TSUN can win it this round if that happens again.
Holy moly, HOMYNO TSUN really gonna pull out 3 aces to take this map. They were 8-1 down just 2 rounds ago. Now they're 1 point behind HOMYNO behind themselves. No, that's not how the maths and things work. Behind Sprout. Oh no, and Dexter, no, it was Scrappy who clipped the border as well, so it is actually Dexter who has to hold off HOMYNO TSUN. Are HOMYNO TSUN actually gonna take 3 aces in a row? It's now, oh no, Feed also falls off. Dexter still somehow survives, so it is Enner in the lead. Where is Scrappy in all of this? Still, he's third.
On the speed check, yeah, there's something going on.
It's looking promising, so we do have to probably just spectate everybody one by one at this point.
High intensity
Oh no, Enner is
situation.
also modded in the water. What is happening?
Oh,
Dexter's
what?
first
Why is he
again!
standing still? You've got to drive. Press the acceleration button.
Oh, ain't
man,
no way.
Sprout in
It's a
1-2.
Sprout ace now as well. It's all going. When everything falls apart, it's dominoes when it comes down as well. And it is going to be an ace for Sprout. I mean, with a 105.9, that is a rough round to lose for HOMYNO TSUN. That just rounds just collapsed.
Let's just delete the VOD for the whole day. Maybe.
I mean, it was one of the rounds. The rest of the rounds were pretty close. Okay,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it was
fair,
the one
fair,
round.
That's
Okay,
fair.
let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Sprout get their track point as well, but yeah, that was that really fell apart. You know, literally dominoes. It's a domino effect just happened there. Everybody just had a bit of a moment.
Yeah, I
there.
mean, high intensity situation. There was
yeah,
a lot
it's
going
on the line. You just got to ace twice. You know, can be a bit nerve-wracking.
All good. Sprout got it done. That's all that matters. They were 8-1 up in the map, and then they won it. Let's not, you know, let's not take into account what happened in between those two moments. Absolutely fine. Now we move on into pool again, a map which all teams are well practiced in, should be feeling pretty good about, and generally is one of the more consistent ones for everybody involved. Both of these teams have not won every game they've played on it. A 33% win rate for HOMYNO TSUN, a 50% win rate for Sprout. Both of them have pretty decent times as well. Both of them, you know, sub kind of mid 105s.
Yeah, it's of course Speed does have that starting moment there, but yeah, it is pool. It is one of those maps at least that we've seen that, of course, we did have a moment with BS Plus at Easy Rim on this map, but it still feels like if you do want to get a map to sort of bounce back, it would be pool of all maps, of course, but given how fast Dexter and Scrappy are on a map that technically doesn't have much like difficulty to it, you know, that's as well. So I feel like this should be a map where HOMYNO TSUN picked it, but Sprout should be more than capable of matching them through every segment of this.
Yeah, this is, you know, one of the kinds of maps where we should see Sprout getting everything done real simply. I mean, if you look at their performance in Stage 1, this should be relatively easy for them to do. Scrappy clips a wheel, and I think might get overtaken by Enner in the end, but it's not the end of the world. It's still a 1-3 for the team. They get the round win out of it. It's a good time from Dexter as well. Hopefully, they can finish things off. And again, look, hey, if Scrappy didn't clip a wheel there, it would have been easy 1-2 for them. They had the better times coming on through. And so, looking like they're going to be pulling out ahead, but you never know. Again, look, giving away 2 aces for HOMYNO TSUN on that last map was also not in the plan, but it could happen.
Yeah, Enner, now Enner is the one that has a bit of a clip at the start, so definitely HOMYNO TSUN not in the pool starting community. Might need to join that club. I know they have an anonymous meeting soon probably, but we see that Dexter also has had a bit of a moment in that segment, so it is now Scrappy and Feed actually who are fighting for the front position at the moment. I mean, I will say one thing. No, I want to compliment somebody. Now I didn't even get to do it, and Scrappy does clips. I don't know. I don't know what to do, Twiggy. I wanted to actually praise Scrappy because he's actually been putting up very consistent performances in light of course, Dexter having a bit of struggle, which is very good to see. But now, of course, Weed very wonky there. Still gets it done, but it should be a victory for HOMYNO TSUN as if everything goes as planned, of course, for everybody involved. But it seems that so far, nobody, at least as far as we know, Sprout and HOMYNO TSUN are not in the Cube community. That for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way. I think these teams are more accustomed to safing this identity when they need to, or when they're not under any pressure from somebody behind them. So should all be fine. And it's evened up. HOMYNO TSUN managed to take back those points. It's now 3-3 on the scoreline. And Sprout looking to, you know, take away some of those mistakes. Dexter on starts, maybe not looking so great on that one. Flips his car over. Very cool, very wicked. But apart from that, not great for the round.
Yeah, but it's been now 3 rounds in a row. Feed first round, Enner second round, Dexter third round. So if logic goes, then next is Scrappy in round 4. If we go by sheer logic, seems that Scrappy already wants to do it earlier because HOMYNO TSUN now are 1-2 in a very commanding lead at the moment and looking to actually take an ace out of their pocket and show it to Sprout and be like, we're 3 points ahead now soon. But Scrappy, if there's any player that can probably deny this, it is Scrappy because feeling comfortable, I feel like, but HOMYNO TSUN haven't been as comfortable on the end, so maybe magic can happen. Let's see if it actually happens. And not really, it's an ace for HOMYNO TSUN. It looked to be promising, but everybody got it clean, so it's a good round, and HOMYNO TSUN take the lead.
Yeah, as you said, pulling an ace out of their pocket, a Kakiguri moment for Sprout there. I'm sure Scrappy and Dexter will both be accustomed to watching that one. So now having to bring things back and get things to a 6-6 scoreline here on this one. An ace back their way would be lovely, but so far they just haven't really, had the consistency on this one to get things done.
But that is a good sign still, because we know that Dexter and Scrappy can pull out some good rounds, and we've seen already aces can happen properly on these matches as well, and we've seen some weird and wacky stuff already happen today on pool. So again, don't count your eggs before they have hatched, as we've said it before. But Dexter gets some amazing speed, and he's literally on the spoiler of HOMYNO TSUN as well. But there again, 1 and 2 looking to ace the round.
Yeah, not by a massive margin, but definitely able to stay in that position. Now it's all up to whether Dexter and Scrappy are ready to go for those outside lines on this one, get it done, and it looks like they are going for those quicker lines. They overtake one HOMYNO TSUN player, looking to overtake the second, but Scrappy slides out underwater, doesn't even get out of the water before that reactor boost goes away. Dexter, in the meantime, has managed to make his way into first place, will save his teammate a really good time, a 105.444. For Dexter there, very good, is absolutely brilliant. I think, no, not quite a record for him, or not quite a personal best for him. 5,000ths away from his personal best here on pool. Still very, very good, able to bail out his teammate, but still 3 points behind.
Yeah, but that is exactly, but there it is. There's the spark that the Dexter has. That was probably one of the fastest times we've seen on pool today, but that was one round. But we know that Dexter can sometimes just do these rounds constantly over and over and over again without any remorse whatsoever. So even maybe it is a confidence boost, and that is exactly what we see here as well, as everybody again getting more closer and closer with every single round. And Enner is now giving us a perfect camera perspective of everything that's happening in front. And with 4-7 on the score, I mean, HOMYNO TSUN look comfortable, but Sprout are definitely not out of it, as well as the identity moves yet again.
Yeah, well, can they get the overtake done this time around? An inside line from Enner. It's a safe way to do things. Feed crashes into a wall on that one, and now Enner has to keep it going once again. But again, that slower line means that he might just get overtaken by Dexter as well. Not quite. It's 27 thousandths between the two of them, but he manages to scrounge out 1 point from the round. Sprout will close the gap by 1, but thanks to Enner, thanks to Enner's safe lines there, it may have been slower, but got things done, got in second place. It will stay out ahead and give themselves one more chance to close out the map before Sprout get to 7 points.
Yeah, that is as clean. That was a good round indeed. So more of that, chef, please. Would love that as well. More of those close rounds, definitely on the menu for this match. We've had a few appetizers, Michelin star cuisine here on the board, and now we're getting into the meat of it. The steak, the perfectly cooked medium rare steak, absolutely juicy, as this match is now ready to deliver on that as well.
Yeah, it's a close round once again. I'm just going to ignore the words that came out of your mouth at that point there.
Well, that's like a good steak, man.
The steak is fine. It's the way you described it that's the problem for me. Either way, Dexter gets an overtake done on the first
I was going to say I like
talking. Scrappy trying to stay out in first place, but his teammate has overtaken. And Scrappy gets a really good line, but again clips that wheel. Dexter clips the wheel. Scrappy just about stays in first place. 8 thousandths between Feed and Scrappy at the end there. It's not good enough for Sprout. They really risked it on that one. And Dexter paid the price for it. Falls back. And again, anybody can win on this round, but it's so much more likely to be HOMYNO TSUN.
I mean, again, a close round once again. Twice in a row. And now they're really bumping it. But it is the final round. So this is now all or nothing. Sprout need to ace this to actually get it done. Because HOMYNO TSUN, I mean, if one of them is first and second, that is a close deal. So Sprout really have to send it, and they've been close, but not quite. Just not quite.
Yeah. Well, this time around, again, things start off close. It's all down to whether somebody will make a mistake or not. And mostly in that identity, especially when you're under pressure, going for a risky line, trying to make up some time, trying to get an overtake done can result in a lot of mistakes coming on through, either flipping a wheel, sliding out after the water. It's all possible here. Right now, Feed trying to keep Sprout at bay, trying to stop them from getting that ace. Ender down by half a second. Can't really contend with those two, especially as he usually takes those safer, slower lines through the identity. Dexter and Scrappy, they stay good all throughout that first one. Can Dexter get the overtake done in the final turn? It looks like he might just be on pace to do it, but he goes wider on that final turn. Can't quite get ahead of them. Scrappy will set a new PB, but it's not enough. HOMYNO TSUN take the map away 10-9.
Ooh, down to the wire now. These last few rounds is exactly why I was waiting for Sprout and HOMYNO TSUN to play. They are very equally matched in many aspects, and that is exactly what we saw there. On pool, perfect example. Close racing down to the wire, only a hint of risk there that can make the difference, and in this case Dexter did try to go for more speed, but it ended up being a wider line as well. So it is what we can do, and nothing else we can do about it. But for now, it is Vortex, so time to spin around a bit, and let's see where does this wheel spin give us this time. Hopefully something good for Sprout, hopefully for HOMYNO TSUN. Either way, for all of us, hopefully some good rounds.
Yeah, Sprout usually a lot more comfortable on this map. We know both of them tried to take that bug line, I can't remember what it's called now. Yeah, bug slide. My brain just went absolutely, like, it melted. I don't know what happened there. The voices came back, and here it is, the bug slide line through there. Dexter takes an outside line on the dirt. They seem to have practiced these lines quite a lot, and it does result in a lot of speed through the first half of the map, and now they need to get things done with obviously the identity, which has claimed a lot of lives, but usually for Sprout seems okay.
Yeah, but actually everybody's in the mix. Ender has fallen a bit behind, but that has just come down to a bit of a slight variation in the lines. But as we've said, this entry is very important, and Feed has more speed than Dexter. So now, and Scrappy hits the block, and now with Feed, who's gonna actually get it? Dexter and Feed. Feed goes for the low line, but Dexter has a lot more speed and actually gets it on the line, and it is a draw. Holds it out until the very end, saves that round for Sprout. 1-1. Came down to the wire, so good one there, but could have been a lot worse given what happened.
Yeah, and I mean, that's uncharacteristic from Sprout on this map. Usually Scrappy will get through that cleanly. That's like the big reason why they picked this map, is that they get through it cleanly when a lot of teams just don't. They don't need to set groundbreaking times here. All they need to do is stay, you know, without crashing throughout the end of the map, and that's what they're best at, it seems like. Dexter is one setting great times, but Scrappy is usually consistent, and that's the problem for them this time around. Can they get that mistake cleaned up here? That's the question. Again, the bug slide line from both of them gives them even more time on this one, but, you know, 3/10 is not enough when you crash the ending.
Yeah, but the interesting part is HOMYNO TSUN actually go for the bug slide line as well, but they don't have that much speed when they go into it, so the effect of it is not as good as the Sprout one. The Sprout definitely are much more comfortable with that technique, and we can see the difference. I mean, Feedy is almost 2 seconds behind, and Henner is very far behind. Scrappy falls. Again, Dexter falls as well, and it is going to be an ace, as both of the Sprout members have a moment on the pipes, and it goes from a Sprout ace to a HOMYNO TSUN ace. That is not good, as I think anybody can say that. No, you don't have to be a caster to say that. Can confirm, but that could have gone again better. It's that pipe Vortex has claimed a lot more victims today than it has usually. I feel like I know Vortex is usually can be treacherous, but definitely today a lot more than normally, unless you can say anything else from the previous 4 days.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this, right, is that Sprout have won this map 4 out of 4 times they played it. They pick it, and, it got picked against them once, but they have picked it 3 times out of the 4 times they played it. They've won it every single time. They have a plus 22 round differential here, and a 32% ace rate. HOMYNO TSUN have played it once. They lost 11-1, and now they are beating Sprout. at the moment, just because Sprout have missed the finish line several times here. That's all it takes. It doesn't matter if you're 3/10 up. It doesn't matter if you're 4 seconds up by that identity. If you crash the identity, it's over for you.
Yeah, and with the gaps being like less, like a second, one mistake, and there's the difference. Scrappy hits the identity once again and allows now Feed to coming through. Texter is in front enough to get that going, but it is a draw, and that's gonna it's bleeding points because it's now 3 times in a row. Of course, it can happen, you know. Sometimes when it goes wrong, sometimes you just need to get one good round going, get it done, and then it works well. But so far 3 rounds have not looked the best for Sprout, but credit where it's due, HOMYNO TSUN still putting in the effort of still claiming those rounds. They have had actually quite an impeccable rate on the identity at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, maybe having, you know, been kicked into action their first time playing this map, having lost it 11-1, maybe have put a lot of time into learning, and the lines look good. Again, they're going for that bug slide line, which I don't recall them going for the last time we saw them play it. So things are good. I mean, Enna has made a mistake on this round, but again, if Feed can just stay in first position, that's not a problem whatsoever. They're 3 points ahead of Sprout for the time being, and right now, look, HOMYNO TSUN have not been in first place going into the identity yet so far, and yet they have still won, or at the very least got first place in every round. For the time being, can Feed keep it clean? It looks all good from him this time. Oh, no way!
That is definitely not clean. That is on 2 wheels into the finish now, and that is an ace for Sprout. A bit too premature on the steer to the right, I feel like. He wanted to go on the grass a bit too early and then flipped his car.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky indeed. But 5-5.
Well, 5-5. Hey. Oh,
Scrappy in the checkpoint, having a bit of a moment.
Okay, yeah, that was also interesting. Average Vortex round, honestly. Who knows what's going on at any given point. Yeah.
But that's how the cookie crumbles, and it has been a bit of a Vortex. Definitely has been a bit of a tumble dryer today, at least. You see a good starts for both teams. One member maybe has a bit of an unfortunate start, but overall the start and the overall execution across the map has been the part as Enner gets a slowdown into the water, lands a bit too early. I actually believe he actually clipped it. Texter also losing a bit of speed there as well, and it's. Both teams are really struggling to find comfort here at the moment. Of course, it's very hard to say where it comes from, and but for now, maybe that identity has really thrown them off at the moment, and let's see if it actually comes clean here as everybody goes.
Oh my
Weeble,
lord! How does
Enner
Dexter get through that?
Can Enner overtake though? He might have more speed in the end. But not quite. Just barely.
My lord, yeah, Dexter had a really tough time getting through it. As anybody who's played this map will know, especially the people playing right now, the pros who do it time in, time out and get good times, if you're not set up well for each, you know, part of that identity, there are 3 kind of sections of it, right? If you're not set up well for it, it can really go wrong very quickly. You have to have a nice kind of line in towards those turntable areas to get through it cleanly. And you know, a mistake you make will just compound itself the more you go through it. He was not set up nicely for any of them and stayed on. That's impressive. But either way, gets him second place, gets him over the line. Not good enough in terms of points, but it could have been a lot worse, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said before, both of these teams actually get pretty good towards... It's the thing is, once we get closer to the identity, that's where it becomes to come down. But again, I will say, like, even with everything that has happened, HOMYNO TSUN, like, always one of the members gets the identity wrong, and I feel like it puts even more pressure on Sprout to get it clean, because if you know that the other team is not going to make mistakes, as we see here, much more speed on the exit for HOMYNO TSUN, and if they hold on to this position, they will go actually into the lead as Scrappy dies to go for it on the inside, and there it is, HOMYNO TSUN take the track point, go into the lead. And now it gets interesting. What did I say about the 7-map affair? It can absolutely happen.
Sprout, not with a 100% win rate on Vortex anymore. They are now on an 80% win rate on this map. 4 out of 5 times they have won it. And up against a team that has not won this map, who has only played it once, and has only got 1 point up until now on this map. That is a very telling scoreline in terms of their own confidence that has gone so downhill since week 1. I don't know what is going on with Sprout at the moment, but being 2-1 down to HOMYNO TSUN is not a good start. And, well, we'll see. We'll see with breaking, but as I've kind of mentioned before, their breaking is not convincing.
I mean, today has been, you know, opposite day, I feel like. A lot of things have happened that we didn't expect to happen, so we can already sort of go into that description with that mindset as well. We basically, we don't know what we're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So, and it seems that today Challenger League really watched Forest Comp and took that quote to the very limit. Of course, we did have results that went the way that we expected, but not the way we expected it to get there. And it feels like this match might end up going the same way as well.
Well, both teams have had good times and bad times on this map. Actually, well, no, Sprout have had some bad times on this map. HOMYNO TSUN have won this the 2 times they played it. They have a +11 round differential coming on through it. They have a 25% ace rate, so they should be in the driver's seat this time around. But Sprout, you know, they've had okay results as they've been going on through. They've won 3 out of the 4 times they played it. You know, round differential not so amazing. When they have won it, they have barely won it, I would say. And sometimes their identity has been a little awkward, but apart from that, they should be able to give HOMYNO TSUN a fight coming on through this one. It's just that HOMYNO TSUN, I think, do have the advantage as we start on through. Dexter is in 2nd position for the time being. Scrappy has fallen down by 2 seconds, isn't really going to have a good chance of getting up into the top 3 there, and it stays that way. A really good time from Enner, a 113.3 to start things off. I'm not sure. Let me see. Is that is a Challenger League record? No, sorry, I baited you. Miquacho has it by 3 hundredths, just. 25 thousandths, in fact.
Better luck next time, Enner. You can try it next round, I guess. But it was a good round. That was actually a very clean round of breaking, so very good as well for the teams. Very good execution, really pushing that limit as Dexter has a moment in the water. Going a bit for a skinny dip in the pool, but not really working out for him. But for now, it's looking really good for HOMYNO TSUN. They are in the lead. They are on a map that definitely benefits them as well. And now it's a position for Scrappy to deny points here as well. And it could be a possibility, very likely, that HOMYNO TSUN now finding comfort to go into a 3-1 position after this track. Of course, they have to close it out first, but all signs lead there.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be very happy that they managed to take the last map up against Sprout there. Maybe it became a sleeper pick for them, and they knew that Sprout was going to pick it, so they practiced it. I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the case coming into that one. Really surprised Sprout there. So now moving on to their own map pick, where they're very comfortable. They have never lost this map. Things are looking real good. Dexter with a... I'm not even sure. I mean, has not respawned, basically. He's still driving. He just hasn't respawned at all and is on a no engine block. So anyway, Scrappy is usually good on this identity when he gets it right. Overtakes it. Wow, okay, that is a new Challenger League record. Okay,
there it is.
113.231. We've got an going on through, and Dexter, just didn't respawn. I don't know what is happening there.
I mean, you know, he's trying to maybe find some wicket points here. He's, I don't know if he can do that there. He's absolutely fragile there, so that is not gonna work for him. And you know, he was just cooling himself down for the round. You know,
respawn that. My bad. I've never crashed there, so I wouldn't know. Scrappy also having a difficult time. And oh dear, that is unfortunate. This looks like it's just going to be HOMYNO TSUN all the way through.
Yeah, it's looking very good for HOMYNO TSUN. They have now really gotten into this match, and especially from the previous map now and onto this breaking map as well. I mean, it's a perfect segue for them to now carry that momentum into the next maps. Dexter is in the mix, so he can still bleed some points from HOMYNO TSUN, but this is looking very good as well. And what is very positive to see as well is that Feed, the player who has been probably actually struggling from the HOMYNO TSUN side, is actually now finding his grips here as well. But I will say Enner has probably been a good surprise, if anything. He's absolutely, but now Feed probably heard me and is now trying to go for it himself. But can Dexter deny them? They're literally neck and neck as we go into the identity.
Yeah, Dexter is going to have to put on the afterburners to get this one done, or maybe not. Maybe just Feed will crash. Enna will lose speed on that one. Dexter will take over first position. It's going to have to be a clean final turn. It's good enough. Stays ahead of Enna. Gets first position on 113.5. May just be a new PB for him as well. I think it is indeed. And that's a really nice way to answer back. May not be an ace for Sprout, but it's good enough to gain a few points. And now they're within 3 of HOMYNO TSUN here.
Yeah, it's a good round, and it's a good round that Dexter gets it as well, but it's something Sprout really need to get the wheels turning and the acceleration really getting going, because HOMYNO TSUN can run away with this, but if they can hold some of that momentum that HOMYNO TSUN now started with, they could actually still just drive away and maybe even take the track point back, but definitely a harder battle ahead of them, but now with everybody being in the mix, Dexter, of course, immediately hitting the corner as I try to make the round somewhat close. It is Scrappy who now has to go for the draw again and deny points from HOMYNO TSUN. Let's see how that pans out.
And so far, you know, Scrappy has not really made an impact on this map, but generally on this map, makes a massive impact, especially towards the identity, now just needing to get it done when it matters the most to try and stop HOMYNO TSUN from getting any points away from Sprout on this one. Well, Enna will give him an easier time, bumping the corner a little bit, losing a lot of speed. Dexter will overtake as well. It may just be a draw out of this round unless Feed gets overtaken by Scrappy here, and Scrappy has more speed out of the first turn. Can Scrappy get it done on that final turn as well? Feed stays out ahead for the time being, has more speed through, will stay in first position just about. And it is the draw that is forced out of that 101.13.8. Not groundbreaking, but very good, and good enough to keep Scrappy at bay.
Yeah, but if anything, this only benefits HOMYNO TSUN. 4-7, I mean, if they had to pick anything, it's the usual meat. Draw 3 times, or let Sprout win. And I think they would definitely take throw 3 rounds in a row, you know, and they would perfectly take it as Dexter has a bit of a moment on the water, leaving Scrappy again up in front, and now it's looking to be where HOMYNO TSUN really want to close this out. There in a perfect position, 7 points, ace position, and they could close this track point and go in a 3-1 lead as well.
It is looking that way. Scrappy down by 2/10. Not the end of the world, can overtake, and again, we know how good Scrappy can be on this map. It's important that he gets it done when it matters the most. Enna and Feed out in first and second, and holding hands. They seem very comfortable now. It took them a few rounds to warm up fully, but they're looking pretty good. It's all just about keeping it clean on that identity. And again, this is one of the identities that you can safe. You don't have to go for those wiggles. You don't have to go through with a bunch of speed unless you're trying to get an overtake done or keep somebody at bay. And right now, oh no! Again, Enna makes a mistake before the identity and flips his car over, and now is in third position. Luckily, Dexter is far enough behind that shouldn't be able to get the overtake too quickly.
Yeah, but Enner's checkpoint has to be a standstill respawn, so Dexter could actually catch up. We'll have to get back to that later on, because Feed and Scrappy get it clean. But is Enner far enough ahead? He is, but technically he lost like 5 seconds in the end. But Enner gets it towards the end. It is a victory for HOMYNO TSUN, but it could have gone either way. That Enner's checkpoint there required him to double respawn. But it was still a big enough gap in the end to put them 5-9 now. So 1 more point. And it's 3-1.
Yeah, should be over in this next round. Obviously, they have 2 chances just to get 1 point, and before there is a chance of Sprout being able to even them up on 10-10 on this one. So really important that they just get 1 player in the top 2. Shouldn't be too difficult, right? On a map like Breaking. I mean, hey, it's easier to do that. It's easier to do that on a map like Breaking than maybe, you know, Airwalk or something like that. So hey,
true. That is a fair point. And
fine.
Dexter does hit the wall as well.
In the last 3 rounds.
Dexter is the wall as well, but anything can happen. Identity has, of course, given us some interesting moments, to say the least. We've seen some interesting moments throughout the day. But Dexter is still in the mix to the extent that he's not far behind. Yes, it looks that you have to get your binoculars out to see the other players, but in the identity, that is absolutely nothing. One of the players has to respawn. That is instantly time lost, and Dexter is back in the mix. So Scrappy does clip, and now HOMYNO TSUN with an ace position. Can they actually hold on till the end? We'll get it there. Will it be the final round on Breaking? Here we go. So Enner, Feed comfortably in the front, and it does look to be that is the nail in the coffin for this map. They get it even clean. I feel like a bit of safe as well, as Dexter absolutely sends it in the end. But too late for now. Ace and track point.
Yeah, HOMYNO TSUN, I mean, there were a couple of shaky rounds, but it seemed pretty simple for them. Sprout just made enough mistakes that there weren't any real chances of HOMYNO TSUN losing the map there. Now we're on track point for HOMYNO TSUN, and it's looking pretty much over. I mean, hey, let's keep in mind that last time these two played in the regular season, Sprout pulled off a reverse sweep. HOMYNO TSUN were up 3-0 before Sprout
Oh
woke
yeah,
up.
it actually, you are fair point.
It's possible.
Yeah, Sprout actually reverse sweeped HOMYNO TSUN in stage 1. Will history repeat itself? Find out as we go on to control track number 5. Sprout's pick, if there's any way to start off, well, it is on your track pick, so definitely a good starting point. So we'll have to wait and see if history does have a chance of reoccurring. But I mean, it's a map. I will say one thing: Control, in my opinion, is one of the better maps in the pool. It has the ups and downs and the undulation changes as well make it so exciting to watch, and with the identity producing some of the most interesting finishes we've seen, I feel like Control is up there among the MVP maps in my opinion.
Well, both of these teams might not agree with you. HOMYNO TSUN on a 0-3 scoreline on this one, with a -18 round differential. Sprout 2-4 on this map. Again, a negative round differential, but slightly better performing compared to HOMYNO TSUN on this one. And hopefully they can replicate that and keep themselves in the series this time around. Dexter, for now, in first place. He set some really good times here. In fact, well, Scrappy has the better time than him, but Dexter has a better average time than Scrappy on this map and stays out in first place for the time being. Scrappy trying to come through in third, but Enna really pushing for that position. I think gets a slightly better exit speed on the final turn, but not enough to overtake. It's a real close round, half a second separating everybody, but it is Sprout that come away with the round win.
Well, a good round nonetheless. The gap, so of course it is half a second, but I mean, that was a clean round overall. It was only just a few line differences that gave the caps away, but that was a clean round altogether. It came down to the wire, maybe not as close as pool on some of the rounds, but definitely we see already that the map itself is lending itself to a lot more possibilities, and Sprout take the lead. That is the most important part, and now they have to keep it all the way until the very end. But now is the case, can HOMYNO TSUN really take it out of the park, and 4-1 Sprout here. But if there is, like I said in the beginning, if there's any map, I feel like Sprout can do it now, given like what you just said about the percentages of HOMYNO TSUN win rate on this map. I mean, I feel like Control is in their pocket, to be honest.
Yeah, it does seem that way. In the same way that really breaking was in HOMYNO TSUN's pocket. It should be absolutely fine here for them, and Sprout seem more than comfortable. First and second position now, feed down by 2/10 off of no mistakes. Oh no, I shouldn't have said anything. Scrappy does not make the first jump. Dexter is in first place now, but it's looking like it's shaping up to be a draw between the two teams. Somehow Dexter loses out on the position. 9 thousandths from Feed, who overtakes right on the final line. I can't believe I shouldn't have said anything at all. It's even back up, 3-3 the scoreline.
Ay, the landing from Dexter was a bit wide. I feel like he didn't get the acceleration he wanted when he landed there, and allowed for Feed to get a lot better exit, and that acceleration was just enough to get it. Good race in the end, very good round, but this is proving to be another close affair, and if there's one thing you really don't want is to raise that blood pressure even more, and for Sprout, they would just like, you know, give us an order of 3 aces, perhaps I can go for 2 aces in a draw, and we would be nice here, and let's move on to the next map. But HOMYNO TSUN clearly don't want that order. They are looking to just close this track out already.
Yeah, and I don't think if you asked anyone, they would have thought it would have been a 4-1 to HOMYNO TSUN coming on through. But it's shaping up to be impossible on this one. Feed does not get a nice entry into the ice and falls back into 4th place, so this round should be Sprouts, even if they do make a big mistake on the identity. And fighting now for 2nd position up against Dexter. Scrappy well out ahead. Again, he is the one, 110.5, the best time for the team, only a 10th away from the Challenger League record as well, so looking to improve on that one as we go on through to this final jump here. Dexter in 2nd position. It should be an ace for Sprout. It seems that way. It's all good from both of them. In fact, quite nice time, a 110.8, nothing groundbreaking, but all good enough. 6-3 now the scoreline, and Sprout starting to warm back up into things.
Yeah, that is exactly what Sprout need. Confidence, confidence, and confidence. They have not been able to really enjoy the triumph that they might be used to on the other matches. But I feel like if there's any team, like if you give any team a momentum, I feel like Sprout is probably the worst team you want to give momentum to, because if they get going, they are absolutely probably the two fastest players in the league, and the opportunity might be slipping away for HOMYNO TSUN, where they could have broken the camel's back on this map, but now Sprout are really showing why they enjoy this map. They are in the lead in an ace position, but HOMYNO TSUN in the mix, and everybody's really neck and neck, even as we go into the bobsleigh.
Yeah, I think it was a lot to ask for HOMYNO TSUN to take away Vortex from Sprout. I think it's even more to ask for them to take away control against Sprout this time around. Again, two maps that they have not won on at all, so important that they just managed to hang on. At this point, look, you've got the cushion that you wanted. Like, the thing is, if Sprout win this map, they're still one map ahead, HOMYNO TSUN. It's not the end of the world whatsoever. And it looks like it's just going to be a Sprout show through this one. So that is easy enough for them. Dexter crosses the line. Scrappy a little further behind, having made a mistake, but it's okay. They still got the round win. They're all good. And it will be an 8-4 scoreline.
Yeah, that is indeed the case. Scrappy had a bit of a moment, but so did Enner. So all equals out. Yin and Yang has been restored. And one thing is definitely on the scoreboard, and that is track point for Sprout. And we are looking to go to a 7-map affair. Well, first we do need to go into map 6 first. But Sprout now, I feel like this is the perfect timing if you really want to bounce back now with the control in mind. Whoa, what a way to go at it as well, and they are really finding the groove here. HOMYNO TSUN, like, they haven't been far as well. They're constantly in the mix. It's just been either like a bobsleigh that didn't go exactly like perfectly the entry, or it's just been a moment in the identity. But you can see every time we go into the bobsleigh, they're neck and neck. And this time, it's actually HOMYNO TSUN who come out on top.
Yeah, Scrappy bonks the wall at the end, getting an awkward exit from the bobsleigh, and now Enner moves up into 3rd position, clips a wheel, and will join Scrappy again at the bottom. But Feed stays in 1st place, 3/10 ahead of Dexter. Should be all good as long as that identity is clean, and the first jump is absolutely fine. Dexter follows up and actually loses a bit of time on that first jump there. Feed will get the second one cleanly. He's not going to be losing 4/10 anytime soon. Gets 1st place, and it looks like it is going to be round win. Where did Scrappy go? I thought that was going to be a draw. All right. Well, HOMYNO TSUN,
that he had a bit of a clip in the last jump and did give away the position, but bit of a hop and skip into the pool. I love to see it.
Hey, it's a warm day. It's a warm day.
Yeah, and we have also a Sin as well in the scoreline as well. 9-6 the scoreline. Sprout needing only one more point, and that's all they need. Even with an ace, even in the worst case scenario, HOMYNO TSUN cannot win this track, even if they get ace right now. So they have the safety net at least, so if anything does go wrong. But for now at least, it's all pedal to the metal for HOMYNO TSUN. They just have to send it, I feel like. There's just nothing really to lose at this point.
Yeah, I would have said if it's a wicked point, chat. Don't tell me how to do my job. I won't tell you how to do yours. Anyway, HOMYNO TSUN now need that ace right now just to draw things up with Sprout and just get things done here. It's not looking likely. Let's be honest here. Their best times are not as good as Sprout's. Their average times are not as good as Sprout's. Their consistency does not seem as good as Sprout. They're going to have to put together a massive shift to get this one done here. And although, you know, Sprout have been putting together good times, and HOMYNO TSUN have been, you know, last round was a really good time. It's just not quite enough to stop Sprout from getting this one done. And as long as Dexter stays in 1st or 2nd position, it is the end of this map. They just need that 1 point. Scrappy is staying in 3rd as well, so it should be absolutely fine. Feed is trying his best to stay up there. And oh, wait, hold on. That might be a good way to get it done. No, Scrappy comes through in 2nd place. Dexter allowing his teammate to get the map finished, and isn't even gonna. It's just, you know.
It's for the content. It's for the content, you know. It gives it, you know, it gives good time. You know, this is a tactical timeout. You know, you used all of the time that you have left over.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
You know, but it's a good mentality. You know, you can use this time. You know, sort of hype yourself up. You know, okay, we're not like, we're not out of it. We took the map. It is 3-2. We need one more track point to give us to the map number 7. We are going into off-road. I don't know how this is gonna pan out. I'm trying to envision in my head how this map has usually gone for these two teams. And I put my money actually on Sprout's side, but HOMYNO TSUN, I feel like Enner has actually been popping off on this map. I don't know whether the stats will say otherwise.
I will need to check real quick, but that's okay. I've got a web page open. I can do that right away. Let's see. HOMYNO TSUN, 33% win rate here. Sprout have not won this map so far. In fact, their round differential is minus 16. Whereas HOMYNO TSUN's is -2. Feed has put together a better time than Dexter has as their top times for the team. Both of them sitting on a 59.5, but Feed slightly better. Average times are better for Sprout, so you would rate them to technically win this map round over round. It's just whether or not HOMYNO TSUN can keep that consistency up.
Okay, so it sounds to me like on paper, as always, Sprout are of course the fastest team on paper, but it's the getting those rounds in and those times consistently is where we now have to see if Sprout can actually use that momentum that they got from Control, as Enner is in the lead and probably is the best person on this map for HOMYNO TSUN, as well as Scrappy and Dexter are not far behind. How much are they willing to push this? And not quite enough. 59, 6, nice. And 7. Really These are very good times as well. Not actually bad. Not actually bad for a Challenger League. That is a good rounds time.
Yeah, really, really good from all of those top three there, but it results in a draw. And hopefully we don't see all of the draws in this, because, you know, we already had a time like that on Pool in our last series where it just went on forever. I would like that not to happen this time around here on Off-Road, but either way, HOMYNO TSUN, again, this was going to be a close round. Let's be on, or like a close map, to be honest. This is, They have very similar stats, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, it is. We've seen that pretty much on all maps. It's just you can see both teams have the pace to outdo one another. It's just been that one round or that one little thing that has made the difference. But for now, they are absolutely, as Enner gets absolutely wedged on the ice of Wiedersehen, and now it's up to Feed to take the draw for HOMYNO TSUN in this case. And now let's see, can Feed do the same as Enner? They're going into the identity, but can Dexter hold or get closer? But it seems that with a bit of a release to avoid the tree, Feed is looking to be quite comfortable in the lead. So another draw on the board with a 59.5, even faster than the previous round. HOMYNO TSUN cooking a bit, you know, cooking, you know, the campfire in the forest, you know, they're quite slowly putting the Sprout on the cooking as well. Sprout is actually a vegetable as well. Maybe they're cooking Sprout on the pan, you know. So.
Chatting. Either way, yeah, I mean, that's a really good time. It's not quite a PB, and again, his PB would be a Challenger League record on this one. He currently holds the Challenger League record here, so not quite there, but again, if you're setting those times, what can Sprout do? They have not set a time like that before, so there is no way for them, unless they set their own PBs, to take that over. So as long as you're setting those in first place consistently, there's nothing Sprout can do. All they need to do is get that second player up in the top 3, and then you win. Easy.
Yeah, but we see now, this is now twice in a row now. One of the members of HOMYNO TSUN falls down, and then one of the members is there to fight for the draw. But this time, actually, it's Enner is being put on the spot because he actually has to now push, because unless Dexter has a moment here and Enner really needs to send it, really has to get the lines as tight as possible. But in this case, it seems that Dexter is now going to take the lead with a 59.6 and now put Sprout in the lead with a 4-3 scoreline. It is looking to be of a match and a half still on our hands. Started off a bit slow, but now we are getting into it. Both teams know what is on the line here, and they are really feeling the pressure, I feel like. And I feel like, if anything, Sprout now feel more than ever that this is now far from over.
Yeah, and there we're seeing the differences in these two teams, where HOMYNO TSUN are the faster team overall in terms of just the times that they set. Sprout are the more consistent team on this map. HOMYNO TSUN have a worse average time, which means that they make more mistakes and don't get to the finish line a lot of the time as quickly, and there you go. You can see them just pushing for these thousands, and Feed clips the corner, falls back. The speed check is going to be pretty much impossible. In fact, it is. He bashes into the speed check, falls even further behind. Now Enner again has to push for first position to stop Sprout from taking away more points from the team.
Yeah, but then it just starts to compound as well, because now if he allows Sprout to get an ace here, that would put HOMYNO TSUN in a big predicament. Dexter does have to release, so it is between Scrappy and Enner, but who's willing to push the end a bit more? Scrappy will have more exit speed, but will it be enough? Enner just holds on in the end and keeps it to a draw. They are absolutely going, just boxing their way through these rounds. Every time it's 1v1 till the end, and it's just gonna be, I feel like this is gonna be a similar sight on both rounds. It's HOMYNO TSUN can hold on, but how long can they actually do it?
Yeah, Feed needs to join Enner up at the top there, otherwise HOMYNO TSUN are not going to be able to win this map out. And you don't want to let Sprout into a situation where they're coming up into the 7th map against you. HOMYNO TSUN are probably having flashbacks right now to the time that they lost to Sprout in a reverse sweep. This wouldn't be a reverse sweep, as Sprout won the first map, but it would be just about as devastating for HOMYNO TSUN, obviously. After all that they've done in this series to get to 3 maps, you don't want to be losing that one out. And this is where they really need to close things out. If you're going into map 7, things are going to be... There's going to be so much more pressure on HOMYNO TSUN.
Ooh, but now with the Dexter touching that light bulb there, or the light stick there, now it puts HOMYNO TSUN in a perfect position to actually take the ace, and all of that they've been building up so far for Sprout could become slowly crumbling down. Of course, something can still happen for Scrappy here, but it looks to be at least that Enner and Feed now are getting into it. And as you just said, once HOMYNO TSUN get both of these players into the off-road, they pull out an ace, and it is 5-7. Oh, it's on a knife edge at the moment. I feel like the closer we get to those 10 points, the closer I feel these rounds might be getting as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed, honestly. Look, Enner was putting together good times over and over again. Feed just needed to join him, as I said, and did that and more with a 0.5 as well. And suddenly, now, HOMYNO TSUN in the driver's seat, able to close this out. If they get another round like last round, things should be good. And the thing is, they're setting those times that Sprout can't quite keep up with, even if they don't make a mistake. Even if they don't make a mistake, should still be possible. But Enner has fallen back a little bit at the start of the map.
Yeah, but now everybody's in the mix. Who's willing to push it more? This could be a round where this could determine the outcome for the next rounds to come. Of course, it is Dexter in first position, but Scrappy is not far behind, so it can come down to the very line as well. Scrappy, I do believe, has a bit more speed, but he hits the tree, so it's up to Dexter to hold on till the end, and he does so with very good comfort with a 59-4 as well.
Wow, that's a new Challenger League record once again, I'm pretty certain. Indeed it is, by 1/10 almost as well. Really, really good time from Dexter there, and I think he held the record here for quite a while before it was stolen away by HOMYNO TSUN. So we're back in that direction, but it's not enough. That's the thing. They're still 2 points down. HOMYNO TSUN can still close it out right here.
I mean, name a more classic duo. Dexter world record, and then has a crash at the start. It's a classic at this point. You name a more iconic duo. But it's still, Scrappy's still there. The only thing that Scrappy has an out problem, he can still get first position and take this to the next round, but that would put them on a 9-7 scoreline, meaning they would have to ace HOMYNO TSUN here. So first things first, Scrappy needs to get first position, and maybe Dexter can hope that Enner and Feed make some mistakes. But if Scrappy cannot get first position, this will be match point and done for HOMYNO TSUN. So this is going to come down to the very line here. Who's willing to push more? Scrappy and Feed are going for it. There are absolutely nothing separating the cars. Who's willing to push more? Feed has an inside line, and there it is. HOMYNO TSUN win against Sprout 4-2. And they now make the bracket for Challenger League a bit more exciting, because Sprout are going to be at 3-2. HOMYNO TSUN is at 3-2, so now it gets a bit spicy towards the top half.
I mean, things are looking very similar right now as how they were last stage. In the alternate attack, Sprout and HOMYNO TSUN are the top 3 by, a significant margin at this point. But I don't know if Sprout are going to be able to hold on to that. I think top 4 definitely still in reach for, not just in reach, definitely still likely for them, but I don't know if they're going to be as high a seed as they were last stage. HOMYNO TSUN look better than them, straight up.
Yep, that was a good performance, and they took their opportunities on the maps that Sprout gave them the chance. They took their chances and took those track points as well. And I mean, everybody in shambles in pick'ems and in channel points, because that was a 13%er, I believe, that everybody got. So that is 1 to 7.5 odds that everybody got. So some millionaires have been made on the channel. So,
including me.
I don't know about that.
I always bet against the odds. I always bet against the odds.
It's a good idea to bet for the odds, but congratulations to everybody on that, and then bigger congratulations to HOMYNO TSUN. I feel like this is the matchup that they wanted to win probably the most, and they got it now. They're now on the top half of the leaderboard. They beat Sprout, one of the teams that was a hot contestant for them, and it's now looking up for them. And for Sprout, well, there was good signs for them. But it just didn't come together when it mattered.
Yeah, well, we've only got one more game for you today. I'm so sorry, but look, we've had so many jam-packed weeks that we just need one day of a little bit of Challenger League, and then we'll get things done. And it is the match of the day, which is going to be Alternate Attacks versus Orcs GP Numalops. Should be an absolute banger. I mean, Orcs have been so much more scary looking than they were last stage, and Alternate Attacks have been just as scary as they have looked the whole of the Challenger League so far. So this should be really, really good. So don't go anywhere. I know a lot of you were here just because of Sprout. Don't leave. This is going to be an even better match.
Well, either way, the break is going to be us. We will be back in a short notice because this map took a fair bit. So we might be back shorter than you might expect. But so we'll go on to a break and we'll see you there.